think we're good. It says I'm live, so
Okay.
I think we're good now.
I was gonna say there's a tweet that's gone out.
Oh my god, the amount of issues, man. That.
Pardon me.
Nice.
You must have a lot of issues, Matt.
Cheers.
Alright, man. Oh.
It's up.
Okay, good, cool, awesome.
I'm gonna move out a bit.
Did we
I
do
believe-
thing?
Yes, we can
We
do
do
thing now,
thing.
guys. Now that I'm not, dragging us behind. Also, that is
Nailed it.
awesome. Polly's outfit is showing up in my background, which is still making it green.
I see it.
I love it.
Do you want me to leave the
Let's go,
chroma key on? Because
let
if
me
I turn the
grab-
chroma
let me
key
grab
off,
Matt's stream real
it'll
quick.
fix it to where your actual outfit's on there.
I'm actually about to pull up your stream with you being
Yeah.
down. I was only looking at assassins.
Oh my god, yeah, I see what's going on now.
Yeah, doesn't that look awesome? I will leave it up to you, Polly. If you want to stay like this, you can. If you want, I can turn the chroma key
Oh,
off.
if it's cursed, please keep it.
It looks really
We
cool.
He
can-
does fit with the theme.
It does.
Yeah,
you're
the
green.
more cursed, the better. Let's go. Like, yes,
I
I'm
love how
in.
the only like professional look.
Oh.
Well,
Doesn't that
I-
look
I-
sick?
professional looking
That's dope.
green screens are Diz and Matt. That's the only ones which look kind of professional-esque.
And Al gave me a new light too, so I've got a little more light to help with my
Let me grab Matt's
too.
chat real quick.
You do seem a little brighter.
Not intelligent,
That's
but
because his mood has
light,
changed
yes.
as I'm here.
Well, yeah.
Actually, you know
Actually,
what?
the Mario effect goes a lot better on YouTube too.
Right.
There we go. That's better.
All right.
So, you're live, Matt. I'm live. Everyone that wants to be live is live. So
Let's pog and go.
Yeet.
I guess we better get on with it. So, welcome everyone. This is the Chaotic Podcast, where, well, I think it explains itself, doesn't it? Really, that's it. For the main explanation of why I look very tired and I'm much more drunk than the others, I'm UK. They are US. I am pissed out my brain currently, and they are sober.
Yeah,
So,
I'm drinking too, but he's like 6 hours further in.
I've got water.
I've been drinking since
Water.
like 5 o'clock my time, so about 7 hours I've been
Ah.
drinking.
That's funny.
So I say we go around, we introduce ourselves, we say what we're dressed as, and then afterwards we'll get properly into the scenario of the podcast era. So, Polly, you go first.
Okay. My name is Polyphemus. I do lately gaming streams, but also cooking and art streams. I'm dressed as Poison Ivy, but I had to make my own costume because all of the frickin' Halloween stores had like 57 different variations of Harley Quinn. Like 57, like entire aisles with different types of Harley Quinn outfits. Not a single Poison Ivy. None. So I had to build it from scratch. I had to like painstakingly attach all of these leaves and stuff to all of these different green outfit pieces. I had to get this wig. I had to do the whole thing. Okay, my venting is over, but like, y'all need to have more equal opportunity on the Poison Ivy thing. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Ow, you'll go next.
Yeah. Oh, you said owl.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alherja. I don't do a whole lot.
I just do things.
I just do things. I just do what I'm told.
I
'Cause
just
I'm a good
do
girl.
things.
That was beautiful. I love that.
I'm Harley Quinn.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I didn't know what to do with my hair, and I set this up in like 30 minutes. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Diz, you go next.
Alright. Name is Zides. Another streamer on Twitch as well. And I'm dressed up as Roman Sionis, aka the Black Mask. I can't wear the mask though. It's difficult to fucking
Nice.
see in this thing. But yeah, Black Mask is basically just he's basically just a villain and from Batman as well. And he's supposed to be a gangster just
And,
like Joker and Penguin. That's it.
Nice. Luigi, you're next.
No, you
Okay.
mean Wario?
You already went with
Oh,
the
sorry.
incorrect name joke. I was literally going to introduce myself as Santa Claus.
Oh.
Because of the red.
No, you're Manta Claus.
Yeah. Yeah, for those that don't know me, I'm that IT guy Matt. How's it going? I am Mario, and ghost
Stop sexing up
stuff,
my chat,
guys.
Matt.
Ghost stuff. What?
Stop sexing up my chat with "Hi, I'm Matt. How's it going?"
How's it going?
Give me a joke.
Careful, my wink is
And-
dangerous.
Truth.
It's made me pregnant many
True.
times. And if people don't know me, I'm unresponsive assassin. I am dressed as a pink maid. I usually do the cat maid full thing, but I couldn't be bothered because I'm drunk.
Fierce.
Basic premise of it. But yes, so this is our Halloween podcast, which means we've got spooky, scary stories of our own personal accord. So, big question is, who wants to start?
I mean,
Oh, wait,
I
I'm
can
Ferruccio.
start.
Nobody go all at once.
No, I can start because I probably
Change
only
my
have
music.
one like really solid story, and I'm kind of a skeptic to begin with. So maybe we start with me, and then we kind of like lean more into the occult as we go. You know.
I like the
So,
way you think.
Yeah.
So there was a time as a kid growing up, I was probably around 10 years old. I was sharing a room with my two brothers at the time. Very large room, very long. It was like the entire back side of the house, but it was the three of us sharing it, right? So we'd all gone to bed, and we always left the door open with the hallway light on because my brother Danny preferred to have a light source, right? So there was always like this backlight to the hallway. Um,
There
and I just had this one night where I couldn't sleep, and I just couldn't sleep, and I couldn't sleep. And I remember staring at the door, and it was like there was no one there before, and then there was just a person there. And they were in like a long billowing cloak and with like the biggest like cowboy hat, like sombrero hat kind of thing going on. Just standing there staring directly at me. And it was like I was frozen in time and we were just like eyes locked for pretty much the entire night, like hours. Like I was stuck, fixated, staring at this figure because I was afraid the second that I looked away that they would do something to me. Like the only thing keeping them at bay was me staring them directly in the eyes. And then morning finally came and I blinked my eyes and they were gone. And I mean, I was younger, so I always brush it off as being, your brain's half formed and I was half asleep. But like, that's my one thing where it's like, I can't come up with a scientific explanation for that encounter. And I did some research. Funny enough, the Big Hat Man is like a real like meme that runs in like the occult like internet culture. Like apparently there's an actual thing where people will see the Big Hat Man, and like it's a whole thing. But like that's my one where I was just like, oh shit, like I was very, very afraid looking at this guy.
Okay, I have two questions on this.
Okay.
What was your age? Like you were super young?
I would have been under 12, I think around 10 years old.
Okay, so that wasn't one of the original questions. First question is, when did you start drinking?
Around 9 or 10 years old.
No, I actually didn't get into booze until I was like 19 or 20.
And
Like
are
very late.
are
No,
we
I
sure?
didn't touch any kind of drug of any kind until 16. So this is years before
Drinking at
anything.
14 over
Hey,
here.
I only first
Um,
had my first hit of marijuana like a couple years ago, and I'm like about to be 32. So get it.
Damn.
But the other question was kind of related. Did you have a local drunk who potentially was also a pedophile?
No.
That's kind of out there.
well-
that's a real shot in the dark.
You're really
there, Matt.
reaching on that one.
Anyways, moving on.
Has it hit home, Polly? No, strike one for Matt.
Somebody's got to be out there
Anyway,
asking the hard-hitting questions.
Big Hat Man is supposedly a thing.
So is it
But
is it like a creepy pasta, or is it just like a general thing that like a
I
kind of spiritual
think
awareness
it's more. I think it's a creepypasta that evolved from like a more Hispanic culture than like the American like white culture thing. So
Damn whites taking all the
it's
culture.
more like family spiritual type stuff than like directly religious.
Mm.
But like at the same time, like yeah, thanks for the mask for creeping me out. That was great. Caught me off guard there.
Could it
But
have been like a fever dream, like a fever hallucination?
I don't remember feeling out of sorts. Like there's a reason it sticks out. It's because I very analytically like to break down everything, and like that was something that I couldn't analytically account for. I don't know.
Hmm.
Never saw him again though. So if it's not repeatable, it's not science. So fuck it.
I give up
Fuck
on
it,
being a
he's
mask.
dead now. He's just dead again.
Or I'll
It's a
come
weird
back
one.
and I'll be dead next time. Who knows?
Well, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe he'll be your reaper.
Oh no,
I
I want a
don't
female
think so.
Reaper.
I want big.
really
I
want a
want big bahonkadonkers that I can squeeze while I get sent down to hell. That's what I want.
Like you want
That's
them put
nice.
on you, or you like confused? You want that what's taking you?
Either or.
Do you want to
I
be
don't
like
'Cause, like,
crushed
I
underneath
immediately
them?
went to the scene of Little Nicky where he like puts boobs on the dude's head.
Yes.
That's immediately where I went when you said that.
Matt, either or, I don't care. I want to be squishing titties as I go down to hell. Let's put it that way.
Just put your hand on your head. Ooh.
Oh, damn. Let's go down.
Same assassin.
I volunteer to be the titty demon, so no.
So, has
fine.
anyone else had any kind of like dream-wise, which has been either reoccurring, that's been creepy as hell? Because the whole point of these stories is they're never
had
meant to be
creepy
paranormal,
dream.
but just scary. You know, it could be someone you think is breaking into your house. It could be anything like that. So you don't only think paranormal. That was the whole point of this.
I would
So,
say
Okay, so not just paranormal, but also like
Not
you
just
know, I don't know,
I mean, you could be
aliens
feeling
or
like-
conspiracy theories or
you
whatever.
could be thinking, I was
Okay.
walking home from the pub and I thought someone was following me home, and this is what happened. Those kind of
Okay.
stories as well. I'm not saying only paranormal before people start just going, I saw a fucking ghost. I swear to you, there was a ghost.
I mean, I could tell you the time I almost got mugged.
Do that.
Yeah, go for it,
Ooh, I
man.
have
Go
one of
for it.
those. Go
So
for it.
it was
Yeah.
like 2 a.m. And I was living in the college dorms in the local university where I lived, and I was walking from a friend's house back to my dorm, and I just gotten on campus, and across the street, this white car stopped in the parking lot, and two guys got out, and I was walking pretty quick because I was just tired as all hell and I wanted to go to bed, and I look behind me, and one of the guys is holding a golf club, and the other guy is holding a chain, and they're getting closer to me, and the guy that was holding the chain kind of jogged up next to me, and he goes, "Hey man, how's it going?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, tired," and I just kept walking, and I heard him like stop, and he like waited for the other guy to catch up to him, and just as they were coming up to me, two other people like students came walking around the corner in front of me and crossed the street, so I walked with those two people across the street, and then I ducked behind a sorority house to get over to my dorm. And as I'm getting across the sorority house, I look behind me, and those two guys are still following me, and they're getting closer. And I get across the street, and as soon as I get across the street, I hear that white car that I saw park across the street when they first started following me come to a screeching halt in the road behind me. And at that point, I had started running to one of the dorm doors, which is locked unless you have a key to get in. So I was sitting there like banging on the door trying to get the person sitting behind the desk to come open the door for me. And when I turned and looked, the two guys had gotten back in the car and they peeled out.
I
That
think just
was
getting to the door was
terrifying.
already home base, but that would be brutal.
Yeah,
What
it was
happened
awful.
to the muggers that crossed the street? They got in a car and fucked off. Uh,
Yeah, that was terrifying.
I'll tell you said something funny.
Oh, hey, Disney's here too, guys.
Yeah, there he is.
Nah, I mean, I've had a reoccurring dream demon. How about that? I've got that story.
Okay.
So, his name's Derek. I've not had him in a while, so I'm free to
And
talk
name's
about him.
Demon. Okay.
Well, he said his name was Derek, you know. And
Typical.
the one thing I remember is I woke up. And it was so I woke up and it was really early in the morning, and I woke up in my bedroom, and I rolled over to go and check the time because I was like, this shouldn't be a time I'm normally waking up. And I bent down. As I went to go, because I listen to music normally when I sleep, and I thought maybe it's just too loud. And I went to like go down to turn it down. This hand shot out from underneath my bed, like full claws and everything, and it started turning down my music. And I was like, "Huh, that's not normal." It was my first reaction to this clawed hand come out and turn on my music. And I
Debatable.
basically just went, I just got out of my bed, got up, and then I just stood next to my set of drawers and just went, right, you can come out from underneath there. Like, you know that stern attitude, like you would tell a child off. I just went, right, you can come out underneath there and tell me what's going on. I wasn't scared at all. It was just this case of like, what are you doing down there? And, you know, he comes out and he was just like this, as you know, your bog standard demon, you know, gnarled teeth dripping with like goo and that kind of stuff. And I went, what are you doing hiding underneath my bed? And he just went, I'm hiding from other demons because they're trying to hunt me down to kill me. And I went, fair enough. How can I help? Just me going, haha, how can I help you here? And he just went, I don't know how you can. I'm just hiding, and this is the best place I found. And as I looked over towards my door, it was open, which is really strange. It's not normally open. And I saw this kind of head peeking round from like where my stairs were. And I went, ha, that's not meant to be there. I don't get scared by a lot of things before people question it. And I just went, well, that's not meant to be there. So I then turned to Derek and went, well, of course, I didn't know his name was Derek at the time. And I went, you know what? Hide in my body, like fully possess me while I sleep, and just free roam how you want. So
I
you can hide
didn't
from
know
these
Yeah,
his
demons.
just walk
name
'em
was
in.
Derek at the
Desperate
time,
times call
but
for
just
desperate
That's a great
measures.
idea.
Yeah, so I just went, I just lied back down and went, jump in my body, it's fine, you can hide here, it will be safe. So he
I had a
jumps
night
in my
like that.
body. Oh, nice. So he jumps in my body, and see, the weird part about it was, is in the next few dreams, he would like pop in every now and then, and we'll just have a discussion, we'll chat. And we'd be like, oh, you know, how's it going? It's going good. It's like, you still being hunted? Yeah, yeah, you know, what's your name? We went through all the basic icebreaker questions. But the weird part was, is when I was in, like, actually awake, really strange stuff started happening. Like, it was like, I would start hearing knocks everywhere. My paranoia would go off the charts. And it was like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then about 2 weeks later, after been hearing knocks all the time, like weird stuff, I keep seeing shadow people everywhere. I was like, huh, I think this is paranoia. I'm just blaming it on the sleep. He strolls into my room. So I wake up, of course, wake up in my bed, and he strolls into my room and goes, sup? And I go, sup, how's it going, Derek? Why aren't you in my body? And he just went, they're not hunting me anymore. I'm all good. I'm all safe. And I went, sweet, you know, go and live your life, have fun. And he went, I will. And then he fucked off. Every now and then he came back for like the next few months. He would come back and then basically just be like, can I hide in your body again? I was like, yeah, get in the body, mate. It's fine. And again, whenever I had that dream and he would enter my body, strange stuff started happening again. Like there would be knocks on the wall of places there couldn't be knocks. Like other side was like here behind me. The wall behind me, there's stairs all the way down, and only someone about 12 foot tall would be able to knock on the wall, and there was knocks there. And knocks on the wall to the right of me, left of me. And I live on the first story of my house, and
Were
it's a
they
dead drop all the
metallic?
way down. And it was just like knocks, like ding, 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 like that. And then behind me, go ding, 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 I was like, huh. And then the doors, ding, ding, ding. I was like, right, okay, that's fair enough. So I just came adverse to it and just like,
Did you
fucking
have
off.
radiant heating in your house?
Well, that
Was
was
it
a strange
louder in the
thing. I was
winter?
thinking carbon monoxide poisoning when it first happened, but the carbon monoxide reader above my head, it wasn't going off. So I was a bit like, I don't really know what's going on. But every single time he would come, strange stuff would happen. As soon as he left, it would all stop. That was the strange part about it.
I have that problem when I come too.
And then he hasn't visited me for about a few years. But yeah, that's my dream demon Derek.
Did Derek have an accent?
No.
So he was British then?
No, he just
Oh.
spoke into my head. It wasn't like he had an accent, his voice just appeared.
Okay, but like, I guess, did it sound like your vernacular? Did it sound like a newscaster? Did it sound American?
No, it was literally,
English?
it was just
Americans
Yeah,
way too
that's
many
it was
accents.
kind of a bit like however you wanted him to sound, he would sound that way.
Okay.
It wasn't like a sense of he would speak and that's how he was. It would be like, how can you understand me?
So how did he
Kind
So
of
if
sound
I
to you?
wanted him to sound like Kermit, he would sound like Kermit.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Ooh,
exactly
that's
how
cool.
it was.
Okay, so we asked
Like
the
they-
wrong question.
like
How
they
did
put-
you want him to sound then?
Well, British, obviously, because then I could understand him.
Okay, there we go.
But yeah, it was like he never actually moved his mouth. His voices just appeared. Now, it could be my schizophrenia playing up, but who knows?
Likely.
But no, it was a strange one. It was my reoccurring dream for a good few years, and he kept hiding me from my bed.
What age range was this?
Oh, it was like a couple of years ago, so I was like still like 18 to 20, like
Okay.
18, 19. Just randomly appeared, and I was like, sweet, get in my body.
That's
Not a caring one. It's
definitely
like worse comes worse,
normal.
I get
Yeah.
demonic powers, and that means I get to live forever. What's
So,
going to happen with that?
I know Owl has some fantastic, amazing dreams. So
Share.
if we wanna have Diz go first and then Owl share, because she's got a ton that she always remembers.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was
Uh,
just sharing some
Triple E, I'll
things.
be
so-
It
Either of
depends.
you
I
drop
I
something.
have two stories. One is not paranormal, and the other is paranormal.
Is it freaky, scary, spooky?
Spooky, scary
That's-
skeleton. If it's that,
Spooky,
then we're
scary
happy.
skeletons.
Well,
Exactly.
the paranormal one was scary because I was like a kid at the time, and the non-paranormal one was like in 2016.
Okay.
I mean, just
Damn you,
pick
dog.
whichever one you're
Does it fit
vibing.
the theme that we're going for?
They're both scary moments for me,
If-
at least.
Whichever one's most similar to what's already been going on, go with the vibe. You know, just
Yeet.
do that.
God damn it! I just wanted you guys to make it easy for me. Non-paranormal or paranormal. God damn it! That's all I wanted.
I just picked
Just
one.
pick one.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
My brother Liam has this too, where, like, just he cannot make up a decision.
Okay, I'll pick the non-paranormal one then.
There
Called
we go.
analysis
But
paralysis.
Before
Yeah,
you get started,
exactly.
though, let me just say
It's
that
like punishment to make
But
him make a decision. It's
Owl has
mean.
some
Don't
very
do it.
vivid dreams sometimes. Like the one she had recently was me hung up in a tree with a stick coming out of my ass. Just saying. Okay, go ahead.
Huh?
Yep.
Sexual or
That is
It was
That-
more punishment than anything.
that's a nice
doesn't
nightmare.
sound like it to me.
Okay.
Suicide and a stick up the ass. What's worse? that can
Sounds like a
happen?
good
So-
Tuesday morning.
Alright. Can I do my paranormal one as well though? Like after our story or
for it,
Oh
whatever?
yeah, yeah.
homie.
But it's not like we're gonna go one story each. Whoever's got the story, we just
Sweet.
go and do that.
Alright.
Can
Yeah,
talk of-
just
yeah.
vibe circle.
All right, so I'll give you the non-paranormal one. So I was in high school at the time, like beginning year of high school,
Good story, just moving on.
and
And I'm supposed to be the dick.
I mean, no
Fair
one
enough,
argued.
Go ahead, Diz.
all right, oh, you can go now.
No, you go.
Kids, do the thing.
My story
Yeah, do your
ended.
story about your
That
high
was the
school.
story. I was just in
Do
high
a
school.
thing.
That's
High
it.
school can be very
Thank you.
scary, so I get it.
It can be.
You got this.
Yeah, my high school was filled with racist people. Anyways, so
It's
So is
valid.
3 of the
This-
people in
this
this
is
call are
going
from
back,
the
like-
Midwest, so you're preaching to the choir.
Well, no, but he was the victim though, not
No, I'm just
Like,
saying we
if
see
we're
it
white
a lot.
people in the Midwest. Not the
Yeah,
South.
I was
Anyway,
yeah,
saying
but
we see it.
your country's more fucked. Anyways,
That's
so
very valid.
fair.
Fair.
and
We are
and
very fucked.
so yeah, beginning year of high school, and then I guess last year, there was a thing that was happening on Facebook, with this guy who started going to my school, and this guy was not a good person. I can't say the word because, you know, the stream is not, I don't know, it's not stream worthy to say, but I'll just say that these two girls were on the quote unquote Me Too movement. That's all I'll
Oh,
say.
sexual assaulter. I see.
That anyway.
Anyways, I hate you, assassin.
It
So
comes with each
basically,
situation.
He's just
your
pointing it out.
situation. So yeah, so these two girls had came out and basically, revealed that this guy had done something to them, and he's saying it's not true, but they showed proof, and then he automatically was like, okay, yeah, it's true. Yeah, I did do those things. So, and he started going to my school then because he was banned from a whole bunch of other schools. And on the day I was in my science class. These Punjabi kids at my school were, I guess you can say, gangsters. They weren't even gangsters. They were shit. Um, so they decided to go and jump this kid. But here was the issue though. Me and my science class were outside at the time, whereas this kid was outside and the gangs were outside. And in the area that I was walking in, where the gang was gonna jump.
On like a trampoline or
Like, were they
into a
jumping rope
pool
or?
or
By jump I
hopscotch.
mean like they were gonna jump me. They were gonna jump me by
Oh,
accident.
but
Like, were they
how do
gonna
you do that by
tickle you
accident?
or?
Oh wait, like
No,
thinking
they
you were the
had
guy.
they had guns on them.
Like thinking
Okay.
you were the
How do you
guy.
do
Is
that
that what
by
you're talking about?
accident?
They I don't know. I don't know how it was an accident. They were that's why I said they were shit. So, of course, like they came at me, but they're like, "Wait, you're not him." And I was like, "Huh?" And of course, I'm seeing them holding these things, and they're pointing it at me, and I'm running inside. Then afterwards, I'm running away like in panic because these guys have guns on them, and
I would.
then all of a sudden, I hear the announcement comes on because I have been back to my science teacher to let him know. The announcement came on and said, uh we're in a cold red lockdown. Students, please hide in your classroom. This is not a drill. Like teachers shut off the lights, everything. So we all did that, and of course I hear guns firing outside. Like the teachers can hear it. Like all of us can hear it. And I guess those guys had jumped the that white dude. I'm not gonna say his name on
Probably
here,
for the
but
best.
Probably a good call.
yeah. So
Say his name.
now these gang members
Say my
they're
name.
jumping
Say my
on this
name.
guy, and me and the other students are hiding in the class and everything, and of course, uh, they got arrested. And the white guy got, like, he was in for interrogation as well. He also got arrested along with them. You know, for but and after that, like, we were stuck in our classes until between 5 and 6 p.m.
The shock, the horror, not stuck in
Oh
classrooms.
man,
Oh
whole
god.
hour.
Wait,
Oh.
so
Class was
It's
was
supposed
it
the
to
an
end.
hour?
worst.
Our class was supposed to end at 2:30. Like that's how long it was.
Dang.
Yeah. And then the guy was banned from my school this time. And now he had to, I don't know
Finally.
what he's doing now. I don't know. And then the Punjabi kids, they also got banned as well.
Someone tried to set me on fire at my school.
Oh,
Forgot
that's
about that.
nice.
Well, that sounds like a fun time.
Alright.
Well, the funny part was
Looks
he
Definitely
was,
pretty
he was
hot.
2 years younger than me.
Ha-ha.
Cheers. Yeah, nice.
You must have been fired up.
Well, the thing
I like
was,
that.
Was it an
he
old
was 2 years
flame?
younger than me.
Was
And
it
at the
an
point,
old flame?
I was a lot stronger than I am now, and it's not like I'm weak now, but I was like double the strength of what I was when I was younger. I was at the
That's
peak
fire,
of
man.
puberty, and I was a very strong man. And basically, I took a football to school, and they kicked it over the fence into tennis courts. And technically, you're not allowed to climb the fence to like get get me back. And I thought, fuck it, it's my football. I'm getting my football back. So I climbed the fence and got over. And when I climbed back, they climbed back up the fence, and it was a two-way fence, and they just shut the other fence on me, and I just sort of sat there and just went, okay, it doesn't bother me. You can stick here all day. It means I don't get to go to class, and I've got a perfect excuse to not go to class, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest. You've given me a win-win situation. And then one of them pulled out a lighter, and I just went, go right ahead, mate. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. Now, what you gotta remember is it'd been raining the day before because it's England, and I was wearing rubber shoes. Now, if anyone's done any kind of science at all, you would know that a lighter, even on dry rubber, doesn't set it on fire. So then they tried doing that, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna work. My shoes are soaked, and so are my feet, so you're not gonna get anywhere of it. And they went, oh, okay. And then I kind of just did my thing where I just pushed the gate open and then pissed off because I was like, it's not for me. And then tried to fight a couple of people that we knew. So then we stood up to them, and then they pissed off because, like I said, they were 2 years younger. And then when I was walking to class the next time, and I was late to my form tutor, which basically is my introduction thing after, like, so in the morning and after lunch to make sure you're all still at school. We had to go. And I was late to that, and they said, why are you late? And here's the funny part is the teacher had already come down, a teacher anyway, and everything had been explained what had happened. So I went to my form tutor. I just explained what had already happened because that's what had happened. You know, everyone already knew what had happened, and it was like the deputy head knew what was happening. So I was like, well, what's the problem? I then got called a snitch for some reason. I was like, okay, doesn't bother me in the slightest. And then on the walk down, he kept him and his gang. I will put in quotes in the heaviest quotes possible, like gang. Decided to keep trying to trip me up. Now they kicked me full force in the side of the knee, and it bent me like I was doing the skanky leg. Like that is the level of
stanky
what they
leg.
were doing.
Not stanky
And I was
leg.
like, oh, okay. The first one I thought was one of my friends trying to trip me up until I turned around and saw it was them. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I carried on, and then one of them tried to barge me into a door, and they literally just bounced off me. And I was just like, and then they started going, you want to fight? I was like, no, I'm trying to get to my maths class. Now piss off. So I watched my maths class. I think I was so angry at that point. I was like, if they come around that corner and start me again, I'm literally just going to shove one of their heads through a window and see what happens. Just fully just grab their head and go fitting like that through one of our outdoor windows and just see what happens. I see if they go, oh my, and run off and go and get a teacher and go, yeah, fucking snitches. Or whether they'll try and fight me in the sense I'll just bitch slap all of them and then walk off. I don't really give a fuck.
Okay,
But it didn't enter
so-
that. They went to their own class.
So that was a fun story, but I feel like we're getting really off of like.
Oh yeah,
what
it's getting
our
progressively
original
more
game
violent.
was.
Okay,
Yeah,
Oh,
one.
I want
have
to
one.
point out this kid also said, I have an older brother that will beat you up, and I went, I don't care. Start on me now, and I'll beat you up. I don't give a fuck.
I was really hoping you were gonna say that he said the ghost told him to do it, and that's how you would bring it back around.
There we go. And then a
would've
skeleton
loved
popped
it.
up.
I would have loved the full callback for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Al, what you got?
Okay. So this is kind of related to being in school and whatnot. How old was I? I was maybe 10 years old.
We don't know. It's your story.
I was babysitting. Shut up. I was babysitting my brother and sister, and it was a stormy night, and I had just made a hot dog in my hand. I looked out the window, and
hang on. You made a hot dog in your hand?
okay,
These
so
things
I have a
happen.
hot dog in my hand. Okay, it's in a bun. It's got ketchup on it. It's a fucking hot dog.
I'm sorry for interrupting. That just caught me off guard.
That's
like
that's
how-
not even an important detail of my
I like-
story. But
I-
listen,
I just love how me and Matt caught that.
I'm sorry for
called it. I
interrupting.
didn't question
Go,
it.
go
That was
ahead.
all.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
okay, totally not unhinged or anything.
Barely. Barely.
So I look out the window, and there's this
Allegedly.
dude standing out there in the middle of the street, and he's like wearing like furs and shit, and like this fur hat, and like he had this crazy energy coming off of him that I could feel, and it
Did he
made me
ask for a
squish
hot
my
dog?
fucking hot dog.
Oh.
Well, not the hot
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, it
Rip
scared the crap out of me
dog.
so much that I squished my hot dog. Well, anyways, fast forward, the dude follows me to school at some point, and he's sitting across from me at the table that I sit at. And mind you, little owl is not very friendly.
I think those are called
Um,
owlets.
Yeah, I did not have friends, and
Same.
so I kind of
Same.
started freaking out a little bit that this dude was following me. So I
Oh,
had to go
God.
see the counselor, obviously.
He was the counselor. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. No, unrelated but in the same time is I saw a dead cat walk across behind my teacher, and then I got sent to the counselor for that.
Like you knew it
And
was dead?
yeah, it didn't have a head.
Oh.
Um,
I guess
right,
okay.
that would
makes
explain
it
it.
more obvious.
Are
yeah,
you sure
yeah.
it wasn't a possum? Because they look like cats and they like to play dead.
No.
He was walking, Matt. He was
Yeah.
walking.
No, anyways,
Without a head.
so they requested that to my mom that I get therapy. I went to my first appointment, and he told me to draw the guy down that I've been seeing. So I did. I go in the next time, and this guy followed me this time into the appointment. And I showed the therapist the picture, and he was like asking me questions about him. And then I told him, not to scare you or anything, but the guy behind you is about to throw books off of that shelf. And he didn't believe me, he just kind of scoffed. And next thing you know, books were flying off the shelf. And he
Stop
kind of freaked
believing
out and just left. He never came back.
So you telling me, Al, that you scared off a therapist?
No, I didn't. The ghost did.
Oh, right, okay.
Important distinction. Counselor,
Yeah.
not therapist.
Well, that one was a therapist.
That therapist, yeah, I was following the story, Matt. It was a
Yeah.
therapist at that point. The counselor
Yeah,
told
he
her
stopped
to go
at
and see a
counselor.
therapist.
I stopped at counselor.
You did.
Bad boyfriend.
Yeah.
Matt,
So,
bad boyfriend.
that would indicate that the spirit was attached to you, not like an environment, right? Because you
Yeah.
brought it to the therapist's office.
Right.
So how did you get rid of it?
He eventually
Right.
just kind of went away.
Oh, okay. That's
Sort of
convenient.
crying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
Matt.
like,
GG.
yeah, sometimes ghosts will attach to you and they will hang out with you for a while, but a lot of times they will just leave.
I had a family of 4 hang out with me at one point. That was fun.
Ghosts?
Yeah, randomly just started hearing whispers. Like I said, it could be my mental health issues. Who knows? They're undiagnosed. But yeah, just.
I
just
definitely don't
randomly
have any of those.
What are those?
No, I just started randomly hearing whispers. And then when I was sleeping, there was a family of like 4 that kept appearing in my dreams. I was like, "Sweet, how's it going, guys?" And they kept ignoring me. I was like, "You're bastards," and then just left them alone. They left. That's what
Yeah,
you get for ignoring me,
usually.
you bitches. Leave.
Yeah. If you don't engage them, a lot of times they just will leave.
Derek
So,
was. I like Derek. I want Derek back.
Aw.
speaking of people in
Yes,
your
Derek.
house,
Rip Derek.
I
Oh,
remember.
Well, he's dead. But...
I remember when I was like really, really little, one of the first houses I can remember living in. So I was like elementary school. It was like one of the biggest houses in the town. The big old green, like 3-story and a full basement, like huge house.
Built on an Indian burial
Well,
ground.
no. So we actually, when my dad,
No, the walls are lined with dead corpses.
I remember my dad saying that the previous owner had hung himself in the attic.
Sorry. Okay, the third option.
It's classic
Our bad,
white
our
person
bad.
horror movie stature.
Well, and there
That's
was
what
like
it
there was
is.
like cross beams in the attic, and there was one of the beams had like what looked to be like a rope burn on it. So I don't know if it was true or if he just did that to scare the shit out of
How
us.
long was he hanging
but-
there?
I don't know.
To have rope burn on a beam.
I mean, if you move
I
it
re-
like he's struggling, it wouldn't take that long for there
If
to
you
be a
wanted
rope
to
burn
hang
on it.
yourself,
Yeah.
you're not struggling. I'll tell you that for a fact.
Yeah, you
Um,
would, because
we
your
look at the
body
rope
would try to
burn, and
take
it would have
over.
taken like 3 hours.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
rubbing.
But
Good
anyway,
Not mine.
idea.
I would
Um,
do it properly. You go your own body length and break your neck at the same time. Simple, easy.
Oh no, this was more of like a strangulation thing, not so much a break of the neck.
What a fucking novice.
Wait, so it was sexual. Interesting.
I don't know. Anyway,
I can follow.
I remember after my dad telling us about the guy hanging himself in the attic, I remember having what I thought was a nightmare. I was on the top bunk of my bed, and I woke up, and I remember staring face to face with somebody, like hovering over my bed. And then I got so scared that I just closed my eyes and held them shut. And when I went to go open them again, it was gone. And I remember that
That's
as
a
a
good thing.
kid. Yeah.
Better
And
that they were gone.
but here's the thing though, is like I don't know if it's just my adult brain changing things, but I remember him dressed as a pirate.
Did you name it?
Yee fiddly-dee.
Yeah, I
Jack
don't
Sparrow
So-
coming to visit you.
Okay, so what level of pirate are we talking? Are we talking like vaguely Caribbean?
Like,
or are we
fucked up
talking, like,
teeth.
Captain fucking Hook.
like fucked up teeth. He had the hat. He didn't have like an eye patch, but he definitely had like
He
one
had
of
no
those
eyes.
like fancy
Uh,
coats, and that's all
so
I remember
Barbossa.
seeing.
Barbosa.
Did he have a hook?
Very
Davy
very
Jones?
similar to Barbosa. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but this was
I
this
just
was
watched
way
Pirates of the
before those
Caribbean.
movies ever came out.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna.
Barbie
Son of a
demon.
I'm not
bitch.
gonna lie. I was gonna ask. Did the Raven Arm visit you?
I
No,
mean,
he
he's,
That thought
didn't.
came to my mind
That's a good
too.
one.
I
That's a good one.
don't think he was old enough to do that.
Oh,
That's
He's
fair.
only 2 years older than me.
Is he
Let's
actually?
check in
Yeah.
on him. And Raven, what
Oh,
can you have
wow, I
to say
didn't
for
know that.
yourself?
Yeah,
Wait.
he's only 34.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, yes. I
Yep.
forgot how like we have a wide range of ages here.
That means
he's Yeah.
10 years old.
Yeah, we got baby Diz and
12
baby
years.
Assassin.
Hey, I'm a
I,
baby,
I-
fuck
I
you.
think I'm identical to Matt. I don't know where Owl sits.
She's
I'm
she's
the old
a-
lady.
She's a
Fuck
little older
assassin.
than
I'm
me.
the cutest baby of all.
Say
Wait,
that to
Owl
me
gets
again,
to
and
be
the pig
mommy?
maid will beat your ass down to fucking hell.
You want me to
Come
be
to
your
here,
mommy?
You fucking maid.
I mean, Owl's mommy.
Fucking
by
come
default,
here, you
I
son of a
assume.
bitch.
Let's get at it then.
Click my neck.
Brr.
I'm old.
So that does kind of remind me of one more thing. I was so there was this one time I was staying the night at a girlfriend's house when I lived in my hometown, and I was in high school, and her mom was cool with me staying the night as long as I slept in the living room, and because we were like, I think this was like sophomore year of high school, and I was helping
How old
them
was that?
move out of their current house, or no, yeah, move out of their current house and into a house down the street that was a little more affordable because it was smaller. And we were in there really late one night, and we were upstairs in the bedroom packing things up, and we had left all the lights downstairs on, and her mom left to go get us some tacos from Taco Bell. And we were starting to carry stuff down, and all of the lights in the downstairs went off at the same time. So we just assumed popped a breaker because it went like pitch black downstairs. And so me, being the skeptic that I am, I walked down and I went and opened the front door, right? And then I walked back upstairs to go and help carry the boxes down. And as soon as I got to the top of the stairs, the fucking front door shut. And this wasn't a door that shut on its own before. So of course, me chalking it up to, the wind. There were no windows open. The back door was closed. It was just one of those things where like I had opened the door and then like maybe gravity closed it. I don't know. But it scared the shit out of us. So we were all upstairs just like looking down into the dark, hearing noises that, weren't there, that kind of thing. And we basically just stood at the top of the stairs staring down in the dark until her mom got back with food.
That's hilarious.
And she came back and just went, "Why the fuck do you turn off all the lights, you sons
Yeah,
of
and there was
bitches?"
there was no blown breaker. Like she just went through and started flipping all the switches, and all the lights came back on.
Nice.
Yeah,
So they all got flipped off.
yeah, must have been the wind.
Actually, it
I've
being
had
physical switches is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it
Nice
scared the
touch.
shit out of us. There was
I always
4
thought
of us
someone-
upstairs, and
someone's
we were all
behind me.
terrified.
So I have a
No,
haunted house to tell you guys about.
Ooh.
Oh, go ahead.
Do
Go
tell.
ahead.
Yeah. So I lived on Wall Street in Fort Scott, Kansas, in a really old house. It was over 100 years old. So just to kind of give you an idea of the layout, the downstairs was just kind of open. It like in the middle was like the kitchen, and then there was it's like a T. There's the kitchen on this side, and then there was a room here, a living room here, and a dining room here. Dining room had like this cabinet that had a mirror that went all the way up, and it was cracked in kind of like a angel shape.
Okay.
The upstairs was just one bedroom with an attic to the side, and there was a door to the attic. Now this house also had those really old gas heaters that were in the floor. So they had the big grates on top of them, and they were non-functioning, not hooked up or anything. Okay. So after just a little bit of time of living there, we started just kind of hearing random footsteps upstairs in the attic. And we would always go check it out, and there's nothing up there, nobody, nothing. No animals, nothing. And we're like, okay, whatever. And then it started progressing. We started hearing laughter, like children's laughter. And my younger brother and sister, who were young at the time, were downstairs with us, usually like asleep on the couch or something. And we'd still hear that laughter. So we were always kind of like wondering what the heck was going on. Every now and then the heater would kick on, the ones that were underneath the floor that were not hooked up to anything. There was a few times when the toilet would just kind of randomly flush out of nowhere, and we would have to occasionally go into the bathroom and shut the water off in the bathtub. Now my room was
Like,
the one that was upstairs. What?
I was just gonna say, how bad was the bathtub? Like, are we talking like drips, or is this like a stream
No,
of water?
it was
Or,
full
like,
on.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like somebody had to turn
Like
a knob.
flooding. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Casper just
Yeah.
wanted a bath.
Maybe.
Maybe
But
he's
anyways, my
ruined his bath
room,
now. He's angry.
right? You could have used the toilet. My room was the one next to the attic, and every now and then at night the door would just kind of creak open and then close again. And eventually a little girl started walking out of that door, and she would walk through my room and then look at me and then go down the stairs. She was dressed in kind of like an off-white kind of older looking dress. And eventually it got kind of irritating that she was just walking through my room. So I was like, "Okay, come sit down on the bed with me and talk to me." So I just kind of smoothed out my sheets and everything, and then there was a butt print in the middle of the bed. So I sat there and I talked to her for a while. She didn't really say much. And then like there would be just random other stuff like that happening. Like she would just appear out of nowhere. We'd still hear the footsteps. We did a kind of a seance type thing in the what is it? The attic. Can't think of words.
Words are
And we
hard
had
sometimes.
candles and stuff. Yeah. And there was like 4 of us, and we held hands and we said a few words, and then everybody felt this like gush of wind just out of nowhere, and everybody got tingles all over them. And we were like, okay, this is kind of creepy. So we stopped that shit. And so that prompted my mom to go do some research on the property. And it turns out in the newspapers from the early 1900s, there was a family there that the man was a drunk and his wife had left him and left their 2 kids with them. There was a boy and a girl. Eventually, this guy got kind of fucked in the head, and he hung the 2 children in the attic. And then he went to the neighbors next door, drunk off his mind, lit it on fire with himself in it. And I confirmed this story by talking to the neighbor behind us who was related to this man, who was a cousin or uncle or some of that nature. So it was kind of crazy that we were having all these experiences in this house that happened in, and was confirmed with newspaper stories.
I think I remember you telling me that one.
You made me forget my story now. I had one.
That's just a sad story.
It
Same
really
time,
is.
though.
It is very sad, yes, but it was an experience, that's for sure.
Oh, Owl, that the house with the electrical problem that I just was mentioning. Remind me next time I'm in town, and I'll show you what house it was.
Oh, okay.
It's right next to the really old courthouse with the giant tree in the backyard that they used to hang people from.
Wonderful. Okay.
Sorry, I just want to butt in real quick. Paul, do you have any questions? Do you have any stories?
Um, so I don't know if it counts as supernatural because I was on LSD at the time, but I got a few creepy ones involving that.
That sounds like an awesome
Go for
story.
it. I gotta remember my
Let's hear
story
it.
now.
Okay, so I have a tendency to get a little weird on acid trips. I get a little bit like I get lonery. I start walking away from people and kind of doing my own trip. And then when I come back, I kind of do like a I'm your tour guide kind of thing. And sometimes it gets a little bit dark. So like we'll okay, so a lot of the time we like to do natural nature trips, right? So we'd go out to like a nature preserve and we'd all trip and like we'd go out on the trails and stuff and everyone else would stick to the trails and I'd kind of wander off and explore and like visit in my own mind and then I'd come back and everyone has so far stuck into this bright sunny like course out in the middle of the pasture and there's like all these beautiful flowers that are just coming into bloom and everything and it's wonderful but the trees are so lush and it's so dark and like a womb. It's so like comforting under the trees. And so like we come to this line where it's so heavily demarcated between the light and the dark. And I'm just like sitting on the border between the two. And I have a tendency to try to pull people over the line. And people get really because like you're on LSD, so like everything's metaphorical at the time, right? So like I have a tendency to be like, hello, let me facilitate you across the dark line. And people get really uncomfortable. Like I've had people like nope the fuck out and like try to go to the cars and we're like, nope, joke's on you. We had someone take the keys away.
Jesus Christ.
And it's just
As you
like-
said that, I got the creepy part of my music go. Oh my god.
Well, that's a safety thing. You don't let people drive on acid. That's all. But like,
Don't let people
Safety.
driving anything. Let's just
yeah,
put it that way.
yeah, but like at the same time, like, I don't know. I've had multiple people tell me that I reflect a heavily demonic influence when I'm on acid, but like in the enticing way, not in the aggressive way. Just in
That's
the let me
hot.
pull you over the edge. Let me just pull you up.
Don't do drugs, kids.
I don't know.
Good
That makes me want to do them.
Oh, there's no excuse for you. You can do it.
I do what I want.
Sometimes.
That was what story did I have?
Just long past.
Well, I had one which was it reminded me when Al was telling her story about the haunted house, but I don't remember what it was now.
Did it
Was it
involve a
haunted related?
house and some ghosts?
Possibly.
Was Derek there?
Derek was not there at the time.
Derek's gonna be
Sure.
a thing now. Like
At the
that's
time, so this was
that's
before.
Yeah,
gonna be
I
that's
love
gonna be a
Derek. Derek
reference
was
for
my
the rest of the
boy.
time we know
I
you.
think Derek needs to be incorporated into your stream now.
I want to point
Yeah.
out, Derek like possessed my body and did fuck all. Derek is a G, but among G's, that is
No,
a man which you can
So you
trust.
think
Ass
Derek
man.
is like the nicest demon ever?
Assman, give me a description. I will make you a pixel art Derek to use on your stream. Like it's
Hell
it's
yeah.
cool.
Oh.
Like let's do this.
Just point ears
Bring
like that,
Derek
and then
back.
full smile up to the ears, and like deep black eyes, and his skin was like a dark green, and like
Oh, he's
dripping
lizard
with,
people.
Like, stuff.
Yeah,
Not
like
quite lizard people,
very
because it
lizard
wasn't like it
people.
wasn't scaly. It was just full skin, which was dark green, but then dripping with stuff.
Okay.
Just on the
I think I could
outside.
do that. Let's talk off stream. Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Let's bring back Derek.
Let's talk business,
Yeah.
man.
I'm definitely
know, my-
not.
Bring back
They're gonna
Derek's
summon
memory.
Derek.
That was great.
You
I
got
am
the
not
good goods.
resurrecting demons. Just
Derek's gonna hate us.
Polly
Literally
wants the
anything.
goodies from
Nah,
his
Derek's
accent.
gonna love you. Don't worry. Derek's great.
Just like he loved Assassin while he was in his body.
Mm-hmm.
Every chance
I
I
don't
got.
know if I want to be
Just
loved
me.
on the same level, but you know.
Completely off topic. Owl and
I
I were
mean-
discussing what it would be like if we switched bodies.
Yeah.
And then have sex.
I
feel like
mean-
Matt would.
Yeah.
Never
I
mind,
can
never mind,
already
never mind.
imagine Matt's actions are just this.
Wait, is that Derek
all
in your
day.
body coming to my nightmares?
Possibly. Who knows?
Probably.
If it is, tell him.
So Derek
say,
is making
"Are
out.
you
Oh,
Derek?"
that's nice.
Just keep in
Well,
mind,
Tell me just
Assassin.
keep coming.
She does say that you show up in her nightmares. She didn't say
Owl,
anything about you
owl.
showing up in her
If
dreams.
if
You see the-
Derek
Oh!
suddenly appears,
I remember
green,
now, you
drippy
reminded me of
face and
nightmares.
all, now you know.
So Assassin
right.
haunts you basically.
Wait, hang on, Assassin. What you got? What
So-
you got? He remembered a story.
No, I remembered the dream I had a couple of days ago. I remember now. So before people question like what my dreams are actually like, most people call them nightmares because my dreams, in sense of me, I'm always blind in my dreams. Like I have no sense of what's going on. I just know where I am. So it's a case of like I can hear what's going on. I can never see. And
That sounds horrifying.
the other day, the other day I had a dream where normally I have faces coming towards me and that kind of stuff. So they're going wow like that, like open their mouth at me, and I'm normally just like bat it off like it's buckaroo. And the other day I had like one that was just eyeballs, just all these eyeballs opening and closing all around wherever I looked, and I was like, it's a bit different to my normal dreams. What's going on? And I had this woman just like sat in a full like kind of throne-ish chair, zip up towards me, and just went, "Huh, you're not scared, are you?" I just went, "No." And she went, let's see if this scares you." And but like grabbed my head like that, like put the thumb to the forehead and wrapped around like that, and let go. And then all the eyes that were like open and closed and turned into like these fanged mouths that were open and closing and coming towards me. And even then I was just sort of going, nice. What more have you got to offer, lady? She just went, yeah, you'd make a good exorcist. And then just left. And I was like,
Yeah.
Okay,
don't
so
know how to-
Assassin,
I-
but
Yeah.
would you
Wow.
say that you're a lucid dreamer?
I used to be, but I'm not anymore.
I
guess
absolutely am.
during those moments, do you think you were lucid? I guess. Like, do
No.
you think you were
No, I
that
had no
was just your
control of what
normal
goes on
dreaming state?
anymore.
That was just your normal dreaming state.
My normal dreaming state.
Okay.
I had a woman come up to me, zoom up to me in a throne-like chair, like you know when it's like the Jaws zoom, where it just sort of goes boom and everything goes around you, and you're like, huh.
The
I
the
felt I've been
Matrix
dragged
zoom
towards
where
you.
like reality compresses and you're
Yeah,
just
it's like,
next
well,
to each other.
I've been dragged
Yeah.
towards you, not you being dragged towards me.
Okay.
And then she just made everything in my dream change into something scarier. But even then, I was just like, nothing really. And then she said those words like, "You'd make a good exorcist," and then just like left.
So from what I'm
And I was
hearing,
like,
Holly's not the only one that does LSD.
possibly. uh,
You describing your dream makes me want to be an animator.
Right?
oh,
That would
trust
be
me.
that would be a fun
You
one. to
animate my brain, and you're gonna create the fucking anime series of a lifetime.
That
Put
would
it
be
that way.
I'll be
awesome.
back. I need more beer for my brain and animation.
I mean, it's been an hour. Do you guys have more stories, or I mean, I know we were gonna try and limit these to roughly an hour.
Oh, there's no limit. We just keep going until we want to.
Well, we the maximum of 2 hours is what we had discussed, but we said between an hour to 2 hours.
My story is long, so I'm just
We'll
gonna
just
let
keep
everyone
going
do
until we
their
get
story.
bored, Matt. Put it that way.
Oh, did you get another one?
What's the harm in that?
Yeah, I have my paranormal story.
All right,
Yeah, let's
Oh
hear
yeah, I
it.
forgot about
let's
All
go.
right, so I think Owl knows the story. I've told Owl the story.
The deal with an eggplant.
So I fucking wish.
that. The butternut squash.
You okay? I'm just looking at your
Flared at the
facial
end.
reaction to that.
Flared at the end, you sit on it, you don't even go all the way in. Get the nut through.
Oh, you
Once
don't want to
upon
be
a
talking
time, I
about
see
squashes
a
right
big
now?
purpley thing with a green tip just go wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Polly, you look terrified right now.
You don't want to be talking about squashes or pumpkins right now. You don't know what's going on in trans Twitter. Just don't.
Oh, I
Don't-
saw that. Yeah, someone fucked a pumpkin.
More than one, but like, yeah, it's a
Oh,
woman,
the one where
like,
they like drew the
it's a
face on the
whole thing.
pumpkin and they made a hole in it.
yeah, Soy Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
whole thing.
that's nice. Anyways,
It's great,
so-
actually.
I'm for a quick wee. I'll be right
Love
back.
it.
all right, you go pee. All right, so I don't know the exact date, but this is going back to the 70s or 80s. But my
You weren't alive
grandpa,
then, Days.
yeah, I know I wasn't alive, but my grandpa had exorcised a demon, from this girl.
Jazzercise
And,
or
Oh, so like, okay, so
an
first off,
exorcism.
if
He
he's
did a
exercising,
he did a exorcism. I don't know where this was back
is he
into when
ordained? Is he like a priest or anything?
he was a all-wise, which is basically like a preacher.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
What,
So
what is
that's
there
what he
like
was.
is there a religion that this would apply to?
Muslim.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and actually, you know what? So we actually don't call them demons. We call them jinns. Jinns basically means
Okay.
demon, but
But
in
like
our language it's called
otherworldly
jinns.
spirit. Yeah.
Yeah. So in our language we call them jinns. But so basically my grandpa was doing an exorcism on this girl, and this was he was living in Toronto at the time. And he did an exorcism, and the demon obviously got out but wasn't actually captured.
What's it, Derek?
And fast forward, I wish it was Derek.
probably
Derek.
was
Fast forward,
Maybe
like,
it is Derek. Now it's inside of him.
yeah.
Derek
Fast
now.
forward in like the 90s, late 90s. This is when we moved to British Columbia then. And my dad had owned a car wash dealership, I think it was. It was a car dealership, I know that. But one day my grandpa had went to my dad's store, or the dealership, and my grandpa was like, I was holding a trash bag, and he goes, "Do you have a steel can?" My dad goes, "Yeah." And then my grandpa's like, "Can you like put a lock on it or whatever?" And he goes, "Yeah." So my grandpa's like, "Whatever you do not open this bag or do not open the can. There's a demon inside here." And my dad just being basically a Poland assassin, he goes, All right, so this guy's a fucking psycho. All right, back to my work. Anyways, like my dad was like, he was basically like, yeah, this guy's weird. And then when my dad came home from work and he went to go talk to my grandpa about like why he said what he said and everything, and my grandpa was like changing his shirt and everything. My the, how my dad described it was actually pretty scary. This is how my dad described it when he went to go see my grandpa because he was living with us. He had scratch marks all over his body. Like there was a scratch marks on his back, on his shoulders, his arms, his chest, everywhere. Like there was scratch marks everywhere. And according to my grandpa, uh, the demon that he had exorcised in Toronto had actually came back for revenge, basically, and attacked him. That was basically what happened.
Sure, it wasn't some
Hmm.
intense kinky sex.
We're not talking about Derek, buddy. So we
I never
so
mentioned Derek.
my yeah. Well,
I
Derek
was thinking
Derek loves
Derek,
you, dude.
though.
Derek wants you. That's why he's always inside you.
He's not always
Valid.
inside me.
So
Inside when he's hiding, it's different.
anyway, so
I want someone to
so
hide
Explanation.
inside me.
I volunteer as
If he wants,
tribute.
just ask.
fast forward to 2012. My grandpa had passed away like 13 days after my birthday. He passed away, and yeah, devastating moment because he was actually the only family member that was close to me. Um, so
Same with
after so
us.
when he passed away and everything, uh, about 2 months later, the demon had actually came back. But this time, because I guess this demon found out that my grandpa basically passed away, he was like, "Ooh, well, I still want my revenge, so let's go hunt these people," which is basically my mom, my dad, and my two brothers and everything. And I was like 11 years old at the time. And I can't really speak for my parents or my brother. The only story I know for my brother was that apparently he was choked while sleeping, like he felt like there's pressure on his body, and like hands were around his throat. Like that's the only story I can give about his. For my parents, my dad had saw a woman that was like wearing a white dress and was all black, like literally what you would see in the movies. It was at the top of the staircase, and my dad thought it was my mom, and like he's like, "Hey, you okay? Do you need anything? Are you coming down?" She wasn't moving at all. And then all of a sudden, my dad hears noise in the kitchen. He went to go take a look, and my mom was actually in the kitchen. And he was like, "The fuck?" So he goes back, looks at the top of the staircase, and there go she disappeared. She wasn't there anymore.
Hmm.
Now, from my experience, now this really bothered me. I'm gonna put this in the chaotic chat real quick. I don't know if you guys have watched this. So I was a kid and I loved watching Teen Titans, which was basically a
Oh yeah.
DC Universe
Oh
TV
yeah,
show.
Slade.
Okay, I know the.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slade Wilson.
So that's
I know
what.
this porn for sure.
Oh yeah. So
Squeegee me?
no Fireball. Anyways, so that's my favorite character, like of all time in Teen Titans, Deathstroke. He is my all-time favorite. These motherfuckers decided
Oh
to
yeah.
use that character against me. One day when I was in bed in my room, I see a black figure hovering me that had the figure of Deathstroke, had the one eye like right here, had the little lines on here, and it scared me to the point where I ran to my parents' room, knocking on the door. My mom like gets up and everything, wondering what's wrong, and like I'm like getting scared and just freaking the fuck out. And then all of a sudden, uh, you know how Spider-Man is like on the ledge and he's like holding like both of his
Maybe I've
hands on the
heard this
ledge,
debate.
both his feet basically all together. Deathstroke was doing basically the same posture and everything on a chair, and just staring at me. And
As you
I
do.
got so scared. My dad's like, I don't see anything. Like my dad, like both my parents weren't seeing anything at all. So,
So
but
did this
my parents were allowing me to sleep in their bed, so I slept in like in the middle, in between them. And of course, when I had woke up, he was gone, not there anymore. But he used my favorite character like against me and everything.
I don't know how to tell you this, but he's standing right behind you.
I'm watching your stream, Matt. I really don't care about you anymore.
Okay, but like did did it feel like he was like literally in the room with you, or did it feel like hallucination, like
No, it felt
drug
like he was in the
induced?
room.
Did it
He
feel
was
like
he okay. Like bed is right here.
Mhm,
And the head of the pillow is like right here.
mhm.
Deathstroke was basically right in front of me. Like that's what it looked. It looked like someone was actually
Yeah,
in the room with me. Like it felt like that. So
that's intense.
6 months goes by after my grandpa's passing,
Mhm.
and my mom was and now she like my parents were feeling it. My brothers were feeling it. Like it got to a point where I'm just like, this is getting really scary. I don't want to stay here. So my mom goes, we need to do something. And apparently there's this guy who does, what do you call it, like paranormal, like,
Like a cleansing type of thing.
yeah, they went to figure out like what's wrong or whatever.
Okay.
Seance.
Yeah,
An
yeah, basically a
investigator.
Oh, there we
seance.
go. Yeah.
My mom had a friend and she did these seance. And when she had came over and everything, she was like, I don't like this place. My mom goes, why? Because I'm feeling energy that's not positive. It's all negative.
Oh,
And
don't make her come to this place.
and my mom was like, how
She'll
the
be
fuck
depressed.
did you know that, right?
Okay.
And her story is crazy, but I'm not gonna get into her story though. So she calls in these people that actually like do like this stuff for a living. They even had their, I don't know if they have it still, but they had their own
They
show and
have
all
their
that.
own van.
I wish. But this guy comes in. Uh, we don't really see him anymore, but he comes in. He does those check-in. He goes, "So you have 3 demons in your house." I'm like, "What?" My parents are like, "What?"
Just very casually. Oh, by the
Yeah,
way.
he goes, "You have 3 demons in your house. You have one that's connected to someone's dad here. Did anyone have their dad that passed away?" My dad goes, "Yeah, my father passed away like 6 months ago." And he goes, "Yeah, so that demon is here." And then my dad recalled a time from what happened before. And then, but the question was, what about the 2 other demons? Now, this is why I really feel bad now.
Okay.
Our house that me and my family are living in right now, we built our house on top of the Aboriginal settlement. And according to this guy, we pissed him off by building our
Oh
house
no
basically on top
shit.
of their land.
Well, I mean, I grew up in
That'll do it.
Dubuque.
Yeah, so
Like,
that's one. The third demon, and this is actually a different one, the different demon, and the reason why it's different is because this is the same demon that my dad saw at the top of the staircase. Apparently, there's a factory that's not too far away from my place. They built a factory on over there, and that demon was actually from there, from
What
that
happened to the
area.
factory?
Hmm.
The factory's still there and everything, like it's
Why is there
still
not
up and
still a
running.
factory?
But the reason why that she's here was because my dad was on his way home and came through that road. And that's why she was at the top of the staircase on that day.
Well,
Yeah.
how is it still there?
Assassin. I don't know why it's still there.
They can attach
I don't even know
themselves
why
to
I'm
you,
still
like,
here.
Maybe they attach,
I mean,
maybe they
that's
attach to an
pretty
area,
valid.
not to the person that comes to the sense of the factory's been built on a land which is so and so. It does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So
None of which what we have mentioned have made a lot of
I don't wanna
sense.
make the story too long, but basically like he got rid of 2 demons. The other demon that was like haunting basically my dad had left, went back to the area of the factory. She's haunting there. and apparently she still does, because there were
Oh, dude.
incidents of two teenagers that were doing it in the car.
They are having sexual
Oh,
intercourse in the car. No
They
yeah,
really
styling
they were
in the
doing it in
They
the
diner.
were
car.
touching peepees.
They were doing it in the car, and literally there was this girl in a white dress that like banged on their window screaming, and the guy freaked out and just took his car and like left the area. And she was like
Was
chasing
the
after
woman
him and
outside?
everything.
That
I'm being no,
was me.
so
I was wearing the dress, banging on the window, screaming.
I
Can
was
you even-
scared.
can
I take, I
Okay,
take, I
Nick,
take
was
full
scared.
responsibility.
can you even scream, Matt?
I used to be able to. I actually tried screaming not too long ago, and like my voice has gotten so deep now that I can't do it anymore. Like I tried and it just goes quiet.
I feel like Matt just sounds like this. Oh.
Actually, you cut out on that first
What? Who cut out when?
Z does, like, he actually hit a deep enough note on his first batch where it actually cut out and the microphone wouldn't receive it.
Oh, I
You
heard him.
reminded
perfect.
me of,
Man, it's like if I was
of
doing a
my
deep throw on my
story.
mic.
Yeah, like just vibrating it
Please
inside
don't
of
lick
your
your lips after
tonsils.
saying that, Diz.
I think you need to demonstrate for us.
Yeah, inside of your tonsils. Like,
And we have a new meme. All right, guys.
I think,
Uh,
yeah, but
Unless
no,
anybody
that's
else
the
has any
story.
really good stories.
one more story
Okay.
from my
Let's
side.
do one more, but then I actually have to
One
head
more.
out.
It's a quick story.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do one more.
Matt, no
but
one believes you.
I
Just
have to head
stay.
out because my oldest daughter is sick and she has 103-degree fever.
Oh, okay, fine.
Ooh.
God damn it. Pulling the
Degrees Fahrenheit or Kelvin?
Fahrenheit.
Kelvin would have been a
So
shout.
let's do one more story and then we'll call it a night.
I mean, either Kelvin or Celsius, they're dead.
Yeah, I mean,
if-
Celsius
well,
especially.
You can call it on your side.
Lord.
But if
Can we
anyone wants to
measure it in
stay, then,
Derek's?
No, it's doesn't actually involve Derek. This one.
I don't want to
It's a
hear
better
it.
one,
All right,
actually.
see you
I can't
guys.
get Derek off my mind.
So, this is when me and my girlfriend lived in different places. She lived in her own flat before she moved in with me and my parents. And whenever I was around at her flat, I was always a bit on edge. And especially there was a point when I was cooking at one point. She was in the bedroom, and I heard and felt someone walk behind me, and it was so realistic. I turned my head around like that, like what? Thinking she was walking to the toilet. I was really confused. And from that point on, I kept having these like strange feelings of someone was stood at the bottom of. It was like the bottom of her basement stairs because she had like it was a 3-bedroom flat and there was like a basement down to like a 4th room, and there was like this woman stood at the bottom of the first set of stairs. Sorry, bottom of the stairs. And then the next night I stayed over, she was stood at like the top of the stairs, peeking round. But she was peeking around at the top of the door frame, which would have been like she was poking her head downwards as well, which means she would have been like, a good 8-9 foot tall. And then the next day I stayed over, she had encroached inside the door frame, and she was stood in the bedroom. And it carried on to the point she was stood next to the bed. And I remember quite vividly because she was a woman it was classic white dress kind of scenario, basically white dress but the same like wedding dress but the same as the girl from The Ring, hair completely covered down, but I never felt like she was going to attack. It was more of a case of she wanted to protect my girlfriend. It was one of those weird things,
What color, Denise?
and I don't know her name. I don't want to anger her.
It's Denise.
She's called Derek. But yeah, I remember then at one point I was
Derica.
here at my house
Erica? What?
and I fell asleep. Derica. And I woke up and I was at my girlfriend's place and she was sleeping next to me. And I remember waking up and this woman was stood by the door, the exact same one I'd seen in my dreams when I was there. And like I said, it was never a case of she ever wanted to hurt us or anything like that. I was just like, I'm getting the vibe that you just want understanding. You don't want anything more than that. And genuinely, in my dream, I went, you know what? Come on, love. And we went and had like a cup of tea in the next room, and we just sat and we chatted till like the morning came. And then I just woke back up where I was. But then whenever I went back, I never had another like paranoid feeling, anything like that. I just had this dream where I just went, I'll listen to you. I'll like hear you out. I will be nice. I'll be kind. I will be the person that I can support you with. And then from then on, she just disappeared. She became her own thing. She was like, yo, I had someone understand me. Peace out, bitches. Yeah. Basically. But yeah, I don't remember her name. I'm called the woman in the white dress, but you know, she was lovely. She was a great
Oh,
conversation.
so
We
it
got
was my
along very
demon
well.
right there.
It might have been, to be fair, but you know, we got on very well. Didn't scream at all. Nice cup of tea. And all in all, it was just this casual thing. It was nice.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
Yeah, right.
that's the
Well,
end of my story.
what I get from Assassin is make love, not war, because all of his
Okay.
There you
things seem to
go.
be like, all right.
I
And
don't care enough
green,
about my body.
sweaty
Okay,
demons
That's if you
disappear.
want demons.
I have a legit question. So, if you had like a family member that passed away, and like sometime later, like, and I mean like days later, you go somewhere and you see someone that looks exactly like who passed away in your family, and they end up talking to you, and then like after you guys are done talking, they just disappear all of a sudden. Like, has that
It
ever happened
happened.
to anyone?
Yep.
Okay.
I've had
So I
family
had
members visit me at night, like watching over my bed as I
had
sleep.
a-
Dude, that's
Because
good.
and the reason why I'm asking is because my grandfather had passed away in August, and really just like recently, like this morning, I had went to my brother's friend's wedding, and I saw someone who looked just like my grandfather. Like, he had the same hat that I'm wearing, he had a tuxedo on, like a black suit and everything. And he ended up talking to me, and then all of a sudden he just brought up my grandfather. It was like basically he sounded like my grandfather and everything. And then my dad went and called me, and I turned around and was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." And I turned around and he just disappeared. Like, I didn't know where he was. I was like, "The fuck?"
And those old people move fast, man. I'm
No,
telling you.
actually, no. I did this too.
Damn, that'd be
I
quick
used
though.
to go on I used to go on really long walks and runs. Like, that was my way of coping with a lot of depression issues in high school. So like I'd be out for like 6-hour walks, like just thinking. And my grandpa on my dad's side died fairly young. Like, I was probably 8 or 10 years old when he died, and he joined me on a number of those walks. Like, I never considered it as like actual spiritual stuff. Like, I'm a natural skeptic. Like, I never counted it as like, oh yeah, I'm talking to my grandpa. But like in my brain, like, yeah, like grandpa was walking right there next to me. Like as far as I was concerned, like, he was right there, and like we'd be having some talks. And the funny part is, grandpa couldn't walk. Like, he had to walk with a walker, like a full on like two-hand like walker thing, and it took him like 20 minutes to get to the kitchen. But when he was walking with me, he would match whatever speed I was going. Grandpa was just there to keep me company.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
It
love
felt
that.
very like did you guys know the spirit from Ocarina of Time? Like the gravekeeper guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where like for some reason that spirit of this like 90-year-old guy would kick your ass every time you went on a walk. Like, he was pushing you, not the other way around. Yeah, that was the vibe. It was not like I was dealing with an old guy. It was like I was trying to keep the fuck up. Like, he was pushing me. Like, damn.
God damn, Gramps can move.
Yeah, and like, again, this was my grandpa that I'd never seen go to the kitchen and have it take more than 20 minutes. I mean, less than 20 minutes. But yeah, but like, yeah,
I just realized, Matt, you shut up. Why did you turn off the chroma key on Polly?
Because it was starting to mess up.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's fair. That'll lag out a stream eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, those are some fantastic freaking stories. This was a shit ton of fun.
Yeah, it
this
was.
was enjoyable.
I was gonna say anyone
Let's do it
wants to-
again.
Let's
I
do
was gonna
this
say.
every month.
Hang on, Jasper's trying to say
Oh my
something.
god. I was
Go
gonna say,
ahead, Jasper.
I do have that scary video if people want to try and debunk anything or talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
If people want to, I'm not forcing anyone to.
You should tweet it out, and then people could follow
That's
your
a good one.
Twitter.
And then we could
Oh,
like
wow. I
retweet
wonder where
you
they
to
find
boost
that.
you on your platform and stuff.
They make fun
It's
of
not
you.
like I'm trying to do that with other people currently in the UK where I can do it at a reasonable fucking time and not at fucking 12 o'clock at night.
What are you talking about? It's only 7:30.
Yeah.
It's only 5:30 for
Barely
Diggs.
even.
It's only 5:30
I
here.
will send Derek for your asses. Don't make me.
No,
Yes,
actually,
please.
I have a rough
He
sketch
already
of
comes to
Derek.
Rallo, it's fine.
You need to send me some more info, and I'm turning him into a PNG tuber.
I think
All
Awa
right.
wants Derek inside
like-
her.
I,
Giggity.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
I'm
ahead.
a little jealous.
I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, guys.
No,
Yeah,
like
so-
straight
Matt-
up. though,
Matt-
assassin.
been
Matt got
awesome.
upset.
Send me some info. I'm turning that into a PNG. Like I got a rough sketch.
It's
all
been
good.
awesome. You guys, thank you so much for joining in on Assassin's stream. Thanks so much for joining in on my stream.
Please.
Check out the VOD. Check out everybody's socials, which I'm sure you'll find linked to each other somehow, some way. Eventually, I'll have everybody's as a chat command, but I don't have that set up just yet.
Wow.
I'm not sure when our next podcast will be. I assume towards the end of the month
it-
next.
We
Month.
It will
normally
be
do
n-
a
n-
once monthly podcast and a once monthly gaming night, so we should have two
So
events
we'll have
coming up.
next
next
month.
month. Next month
Next-
will be might be our final one for the year. We're gonna have to see on people's timings and how everything works out.
Next month is a very
in
busy month for
December.
me, so I might have to sit
Exactly. It's gonna be a busy month for all
Yeah.
for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
So I do apologize if we don't get round to doing any kind of gaming sessions or podcasts.
out. Worst
or if
case
we only have
scenario,
to do
we
one
pick
a
it back
month.
up in January.
Yes, basically that's how it goes. It's Christmas. People have families. People have lives.
Yeah.
I don't, but I'm me.
You're gonna
so,
come to
you
the
know,
U.S. and spend those holidays with us, right?
Yeah.
About that. I wanted to bring it up with you guys before you said anything about
That was
it, but
more-
here we
Or
are.
you can come to my house and celebrate with us. We'll just call you Uncle Derek.
I
like
love
this.
it.
All right, I'm coming over, Al. It's fine.
Alright.
All right,
Yeah,
guys,
you got
it's been
Derek,
fun.
You got Derek behind us.
I'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah,
Have a good
see
one,
you.
everybody.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, hon.
Bye.
Bye.